those two. Keep on.
There's one for them.
So, man, what we're on,
I guess
dude?
it's what's
Good?
up
All
there.
right. All right. So we were scheduled to do 6:20, but our regular board meeting went over a little bit. So I've got 6:40, and let the record show that all of our board members are here for our work session this evening. And also have business manager Blake Betzner, myself, superintendent, and Jamie Ramos, our technical advisor over here. So the topic of this is basically project updates. So we've gotten done with some of our projects that we really want to get done with, and they turned out really nice, as you well know. So Blake has kind of put together kind of a little summary of what money we still have left, and probably tell us a little bit about when we need to spend it by, and he's got some good ideas about what we know we need to do a little work on. So we'd like your help this evening, kind of look at that over, just first of all, just so you're aware, and then talk a little bit about prioritization to see if you agree with that or if you think something else needs to be done. So just kind of opening it up. So with that, we'll turn over to Blake and go through all that with you.
Okay, so you can see the first part is the 2023 lease rental. That was our big project. We came in about a little over $2 million under budget, so that's a good thing. So we have now until December 26th or December of 26 to spend out the rest. So we got about a year and a couple months here. So I met with the principals and got some ideas about some of their thoughts or some of the things they wish were in the project that didn't get in the project, or just some other things with athletics, technology a little bit, and maintenance also. So I'm just kind of broken down in different scenarios, but some of the things that and most important kind of were a little bit at the top and then kind of went down as we went. But with the high school, the ceiling of the main gym keeps being hit. We actually did a visit at Northwestern again. We've got one quote, and we're getting another quote for that. And we look like the first quote came in about $150,000, but there's going to be some repainting that goes along with that because of the beams that came down that won't be touched with that. They're going to have to repaint those beams after that material goes up. So it's kind of like an acoustic board. It's like a hard acoustic board that goes up and sets there, kind of like Northwestern's. If you go to Central Catholics, they have the same thing.
But does everybody understand what he's talking about, though? It's the ceiling there in the main gym. It kind of keeps flaking off, falling down. Just can't get paint to stick to it. So.
Yeah, but I think we repainted it the summer before, 2 summers ago.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah, 2 summers ago, and you can see the same thing happened at Northwestern. We repainted it like 4 times. We sandblasted, repainted it, and still just kept having those same issues. So we have 2 sand filters that are bad. That's more of a kind of a maintenance thing, but it's in the high school. Those need rebuilt, and they're about $25,000 a piece. The auditorium, 2 things that we did not get into the main project was a curtain and then sound and lighting. We've got quotes for all 3 of those things, so we plan on doing that in the high school. And then some graphics. Now that that's all done, putting some graphics on the walls where the TVs are, or on the band doors, or some areas where just freshen those sides up a little bit. Even like possibly, they're going to come next Wednesday, but they had an idea of even putting some out in the front of the field house. But just some different ideas. They're going to give us some different looks. Maybe all that glass in front of the field house, or just some different ideas. That if we want to do some graphics, we can do that. Elementary, we got a few blinds. We put them in to make sure they looked really nice. They loved them. So we're going to hopefully redo all the elementary blinds. It's been kind of a talk with a partition wall in the middle. Do we go to a wall or a curtain? Kind of went back and forth. They would really like to keep the wall just with sound and, but it's obviously a lot more expensive. The wall is a lot more expensive than the curtain. So I got a quote last year for the wall, and we're running one for the curtain just to give us an idea of the actual difference between and how long it would take to put in there and all those things. So that one's going to take a while to get some quotes. One of the main things they want to do also was they want an entrance into the office, because right now you got to go through the building to get back into the office. So they want something that'll go when you get into that breezeway there. they want to go right in instead of going into the school. So we're going to look at that. Talk to Tecton a little bit about that. He thinks it'd be a pretty easy, something. I'm sure it costs money, but it's going to be an easy fix. They think there's enough footage there that they can build it without getting into the hallway or building extra stuff. So that's something I think can be done pretty economically. I put in a higher number. A lot of these are higher numbers than what I think they'll end up being, but I'd rather be high and be, come down than the other way. The playground is right outside of the kindergarten classroom we've talked about with pre-K. And then classroom furniture is, when I met with Mrs. Ray, they were on with Mr. Hufford, they were on rotation to get classroom furniture. They didn't get any this year, so if we have some money left, she was asking for that during the project, and we do, so something she's interested in. Technology, just threw in some copiers and view boards, something we need every year. And then athletics, the football field goal posts, baseball, softball, field upgrades. They have some drainage issues on both of those. Basketball hoist for the main gym to bring up the rims, the backboards. They have to use a drill right now. It's pretty dangerous. So we would have it keyed, and they could just use a key to bring them up and down. And then finish the field house gym floors. The two that didn't get finished this year, they would go on this also. So we could save a little bit more money out of operations fund. So maintenance things that we can look at through this is parking lot repair. We still have quite a few sections that are starting to alligator, where they're starting to break up in different spots. We replaced $23,000 this year, 2 big sections, and I thought it looks really good. So there's gonna be a few other sections. Again, I put quite a bit of money in there. That's kind of the one I put more money in, and we can spread it out. I think we're gonna have probably about $80,000 to $90,000 where we're gonna need to hit pretty quick. But if we could do 150, that'd be awesome. But we can move some of that money around if we need to. There's about 3 spots of concrete that need to be redone. One of them is because of the project. They talked about, they knew in their the roofing, in the contingency part of the roofing, when they ran over by the field house, behind the field house in the weight room, they kind of broke some of that stuff. They knew they were going to do it beforehand. They were just going to use contingency money. I asked them not to do that because they were going to use their own people and probably charge you whatever they wanted to charge you. So I said I would rather keep our contingency money and then bid it out and try to get the better price for doing that. So there's going to be a little bit of concrete that needs done. A roofing project, moisture management. I've worked with moisture management in the past at Northwestern, and they do an overlook, kind of how all of our roofs look, and then they actually take it out to bid for you. So they have everything in there. They kind of take responsibility for that. I've contacted them to give us a price to do that. But when I was walking around with Tecton, they said that the U around the media center, that's the one it's in bad shape, and they think it's between $300,000 to $500,000 to replace that U. We put 4 patches on it for about, I think it was like $15,000 during the project, just because they were really bad shapes. And we fixed those, but we're still needing some definite roofing projects done around that section. And then I think we're pretty close to being back to,
Done everything.
Yes, there was only one. The auditorium looks like it was sprayed, repaired when I walked up there. That's the only other one I see that probably needs to be done in the next few years. So roofing wise, you guys have done a really good job of keeping on that because all the roofs seem to be in pretty good shape. A burnisher, we have trouble keeping our floors looking nice, especially in the wintertime. So we talked about looking at a burnisher that would just clean those field house around the hallways because we wax them once a year, but by Christmas time you can't get them cleaned again. So they think that would talk to the maintenance custodial. They think that's something that we can look at, that we might not have to. We might have to wax them as many times as we do. We wouldn't have to strip them as many times. So just trying to make our buildings look cleaner all the time, especially with all the new work we put into the high school. And then the admin building, the renovation / new build, whatever we kind of look at there. We've got some quotes for renovation, and we're looking at some just budgetary numbers for a new build, and I think they can both be well within that $800,000 earmark we have there. So that kind of got us to the 2.2 billion, but again, some of these I put a little bit higher than what they actually are, just to have some flexibility there. And then also we'll have interest on those going forward. So we'll have some interest dollars with that 2.2 million. We're not planning on doing anything within the next, 3 or 4 months. So we'll keep building that interest going forward. Yeah.
What about the floor in the main gym?
Yeah.
Like, are we gonna have to do something there? What's
Long term, yeah.
Yeah. So he said 15 years, but now he's back to 5 to 6 years.
Okay.
So he said if you do it now, you lose the 5 or 6 years. So it's one of those things. I think in 5 or 6 years, it's something we're going to look at. It's probably $150,000 to $200,000 project to redo the floor. By then, it'll probably be $300,000. So
right, double what it is now.
Yeah. But that's going definitely on those. One of the next lists. Any other?
What was the easy sprayer? Did I miss that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I went right by that one. The easy sprayer, we are going to start spraying. We did it at Northwestern. We bought our own sprayer so we can fertilize and spray our own weeds so that we can be, one of the main reasons I like it is because any company you get just shows up. No matter how many times you tell them don't show up, like make sure 3 days ahead of time. I always hate it because they'll be like, hey, we're coming tomorrow. Nope, you can't come tomorrow because we don't have it on the website. We haven't done any of that stuff. So that's part of it. And then economically, it's something we can just do. And we pay for Northwestern, we paid about $5,000 in material. It was about $36,000 to do all their fields in all their areas. Ours is about 15. So we buy the sprayer, which is about 20. But after that, it's, probably $2,000 to $3,000 worth of fertilizer and spray. So it'll save us some dollars doing that.
How about back on the main gym floor?
Yeah.
Did you get an update from Chris that you want to share?
Yeah, so he said it got down to 13% if I looked right, and he wants it to be under 10. So he's saying this week they're still hoping for fall break. If it's not gonna be fall break, it'll be the week after fall break. Should still be good for November 1st. Is that when your scrimmage?
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think he told me November 1st scrimmage still be good for the girls. November 1st scrimmage is what they're hoping for. So take a little longer than
moisture contents are 17, 20%?
20, I think 20%, and it's down to 13. So
Is there any fear that it's gonna come back up at some point after we stop doing what we're doing with the drying thing?
Well, I don't think so, because what he thinks happened was when they redid those drinking fountains, they think it got underneath when it happened.
Yeah.
It was spraying. He thinks it just got enough water got underneath and just kept going to one spot. So hopefully there's not that water source anymore, because I'd be a little more worried if it's coming from the ceiling or somewhere like that. Okay, so that's our 2023 lease rental. That's got to be out by. So I'll give you guys updates, kind of what we're going here, and you guys will have some decisions to make with the costs. That'll be December of 2026. The 2024 GEO bond doesn't have an ending date because it's IRS it's already been taxed. So we can spread this one out as long as we need to. But what we're going to use for that is the swimming pool. So anything that we need to do to increase the swimming pool is going to come out of that GEO bond, and then some HVAC system work that hasn't been started yet, but we're going to have some HVAC. Again, we have the chiller. We have hot water systems down. One of the hot water systems was down, so we're gonna need some things for the HVAC system to get back up to play, and I just put some money in there. That's probably what we're going to use that out of when we have to do that. And then what my hope is for the next few years, take one school bus out of there a year, so we can clear up some operations costs. We don't have to take it out of operations. So you can see if we do all that, we've spent $515,000 out of $2.1 million.
What about the pool pack?
Yeah, yeah. The pool pack was $35,000 to fix the issues right now with it. It's been running like the way it's running. It's been running like that for a few years. It just doesn't have cooling. Everything else works. It pulls the humidity out, does what it's supposed to. So it doesn't have the cooling factor. It's about $35,000 to fix the cooling piece of it. And now, he said that DA Dodd was like, I mean, it's good to have, but you probably don't use it much during swim season. There's not a lot of cooling that goes in there. So they've been using it without that system being able to work for multiple years. But I think it's like 35 is what I remember, right, to get it kind of redone. Oh, and that's what that was. I'm sorry. I'm glad you said that. That HVAC system was the pool pack.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. Thank you for the pool there. But again, we have that till whenever. Again, interest, we keep drawing interest on it. So we try to pay for things. If we wait 2 months, we can pay for some of those things with just the interest piece of it. Any questions about projects? We got another busy year of projects, so
Boy, it
it'll be
looks
good. Get a lot of things cleaned up with that money that's left, so hopefully a lot of long-term solutions.
Thank you, Mr. Besser. Appreciate it
Thank
very
you.
much. All right. No other questions or comments? So I guess maybe before we leave this, does that look like a reasonable plan at this point? Is there anything that we've missed that you have thought about? We will continue on this path then. So thanks for putting that plan together, Blake, and talking with our principals too. All right, so with that, we can go ahead and close this work session.